Hello everyone. Hope you still have some power after the lunch to listen some information about micro-influencers. My name is Denis and I lead the marketing team in the Prequel app. Prequel app is a photo and video editing mobile app where you can apply the most trendy effects, filters, AI-based or just beautifully created. You can use the most latest trends, and of course you can post everything to your lowly social networks. As our users post, as I mentioned, to social networks, for us was a logic decision to work with microbloggers. On average, every Prequel users post at least 5 times to TikTok, to Instagram, to Snapchat, to any other social network existing. In our opinion, there are, let's say, 2 types of the micro-influencers. The one what makes everything good, and the second what can collect all fails possible. This is just an example. In reality, even the second video worked pretty well. And why we actually use micro-influencers? There are 4 main advantages. The first one is those creators are personally involved. What means there is nobody in the middle between you and influencer, and they're really interested to get a better video, to get it promoted, and of course to get some million views. Next advantage is low rates. I think there is no comment. If you work with micro-influencers, it could start with 0, and I don't know, and up to any amount you would like to pay. Direct communication. If you work with agencies or you work for platforms, you usually communicate through chats or even don't communicate, and if you work directly, it's really easier to provide a feedback or to get any information from influencer. And last and the most important is measurable. Because when everything started a year ago with AT&T, it became pretty hard to calculate what result bring you the biggest influencers, big influencers. And in case you work with micro-influencers and promote them, for example, in performance marketing through TikTok, through all other channels, usually you can get all metrics, you can understand is it profitable, you can understand how much did that influencer provided to you, to your brand. Everyone can call micro-influencers in different way. We made a few rules. So first one is for last 6 posts, those guys have at least 2,000 views. Second one, they of course actively participate in all trends. So if something new happened on the network, they usually post immediately, almost immediately. And the last one, the influencer, its character should be really memorable, so it can catch eye of the viewers, of the users. How it works? We developed 7 steps, 8 steps workflow. The first one is related to more contacting and getting the content signed and published. And the last 2 are about testing ads and the scaling of the campaigns. If we want to catch an influencer, get in touch, if you want to communicate with him, there are, as I mentioned from the beginning, a few possibilities. And those possibilities are, you can directly work with social network, you can work through partner platform or marketplace, for example, TikTok creators marketplace, or you can work through agencies. Of course, every way has its own specialities. Everyone is different. It depends how you can communicate, and depends how you provide feedback and get correction from blogger. One of the most important part when you want to get cool content from a blogger is briefing. And we trying to work mostly in two ways. Depends on the blogger, depends on the campaign. We can provide really full freedom, creative freedom, or we can provide the most specific instruction. But in both cases, we should balance. We should balance, do not get the inappropriate content. And here are a few recommendations regarding every of those methods. For giving freedom, of course, when you're trying a new character, you should provide him with trendy or you expect to be very viral features, and you should provide them with examples of what not to do. Opposite to that, when you work with most specific instruction, you provide the example what to do, you provide the best scripts, and you highlight, of course, these best-selling features. Next two steps can be repeated like enormous times, but we decided to narrow it down to 6 main points. The first, you should not communicate or continue communicating with the blogger who doesn't respond for more than 2 business days, who made more than 4 corrections. All videos should be in high quality, otherwise users will not understand what is on a creative. All content should be proper aspect ratio, because if you wanna post it, for example, in Instagram feed, it usually ratio 1:1, and you can post the TikTok video to Instagram feed, for example. You should not accept any visuals what bloggers provide after the deadlines, after 1 week after deadlines. I will later say why. And of course, there should not be any watermark. Usually, microbloggers edit their content in some third-party applications, and sometimes it can appear on a posted video there is a watermark on, I don't know, on any brand, of any brand. After you get was content and it was approved by you, of course, you should ask blogger to publish, and you should start campaigns, performance campaigns. Microbloggers, again, have a few advantages here. First one is you no need to post all the content at the same time, because it really doesn't matter. You don't want to get really viral effect of it, but you can, instead of that, start your promotion performance campaigns anytime. You can split creatives or video provided by bloggers like any way you want, because according to your best practices, and of course depends on your contract. You can start not only like branded promotion campaign, promoting a blogger post. You can also start a normal campaign using a video creatives as an ad. So, and the latest 2 steps are testing and scaling. In our opinion, there are a few most important learnings we got. The first one, you should spend not more than 3 of your cost per lead, cost per action in case of mobile application. You should cross all those creatives on different platforms, because sometimes what works on Android doesn't work on iOS. And about scaling, again, you should run campaigns on all channels. Doesn't matter where you got the bloggers. You can create alternative versions. You can resize, add voices, add some subtitles, and you can run on all other ad channels you work with. Here are some best practices we got. We would like to share it with you. First one is a conversion, of course. In the past 6 months, we contacted 12,000 bloggers and got only 2,000 and a bit more than 200 answers. From these 2,200, we got only 520 influencers who signed a contract. Of course, by the proper selection, you can get higher conversion rate. You can get more bloggers signed. It depends on you. And some additional figures regarding the bloggers who signed the contract. Out of 520 signed contracts, we got 19 influencers with whom we work on a regular basis. Some of them we work already I think 6 times, and with some work like a couple of times. And if some script or scenarios worked well, use it. And for example, in the past 6 months, we got 8 new scenarios which you could provide to next bloggers you want to involve in your campaigns. And most probably it will work really good. And average script lifetime, it's just our figure, maybe your could be different, is 4 months. To sum up all what I mentioned, we recommend add new influencer every new campaign. Simple scripts works better than any complicated ones. Always work with some bloggers who worked good, like in your previous campaign. Always use seasonal and trendy content. For example, Christmas is coming. It obviously use Christmas in your campaigns. Like standard recommendation for any brand creative creation, catch users' attention in first 3 seconds. And of course, show your product. Otherwise, users will not understand what you want to tell about. Hope those figures will help you in your influence campaigns and in your performance campaigns. Enjoy this day and Merry Christmas. Thank you.